Christian Novels Audiobooks, The Story of Wayne and Jean Vozzolo, The Cross Penny, Episode number 57. Mr. V, I've been thinking that I need to make a couple of jigs for the fence. I'm listening, Wayne said as they left the dealership. Well, if I had a piece of exterior plywood 8 feet by 10 inches with the rope handle on each end, and then I could line up each hole center from one end to the next end and use some spray paint to mark those hole centers, then I wouldn't have to keep measuring. That sounds really good. You could even put the case of spray paint on top of the jig and just pull it all along. That would be a two-man job to get it even. What's the other jig you need? Well, once the holes are drilled and the pea gravel's in them, we need a way to line up the edge of the poles as close as possible with each other. If we had another board the width between the surveyor stakes and the edge of the pole but longer, say 10 or 12 feet, then that would make that job way more efficient as well. It could also go on top of the poles if we attached a level to the side so we could see if the poles are the same height too. That sounds really smart too, Wayne agreed. And if we make some braces on 45-degree angles and use ratchet straps, it would be easier to level up the poles. They really have to be straight and not cattywampus. We need enough of those for however many poles we are going to put up in one day. Those really need to stay in place overnight. Well, I can tell this is not your first fence job. No, it's not. But it is my first fence job using 16 feet tall poles. It's easier to keep cattle in than thieves out. Well, we have a bunch of 1x2s and 4x4s and ratchet straps in the shop and some scraps that would work on the first 2 jigs. Let's stop and get the spray paint. There's not much of that here, and it's all pretty old and probably needs to be thrown away. After lunch, Wayne and Mark made the first jig. Let's go try it out, Mark. We'll make the other jigs and braces a little later. Mr. V, I was hoping you would say that. Let's put it in the truck with the paint and the gloves. You drive Old Blue, and let's see if this is going to work. Old Blue started right up, and Mark followed Wayne down to the property edge by the highway. Mark jumped off the tractor and helped Wayne pull out the hole marking jig and lined it up next to the first 2 surveyor stakes. Well, these 2 stakes are the right distance apart, Wayne said. Yep. Mark quickly spray painted along the edge of the first hole. He went to the other end and marked that one. X marks the spot. They look more like crosses to me. Here, let's pull it down. I'll tell you when to stop. Okay. Whoa! Mark sprayed the pink paint. All right. They took the hole marking jig away, and Mark navigated Old Blue to the auger, so the auger was right over the first pink X. That's easy to see from the tractor seat. Looks like I'm there. Am I? Right on. Let me go get inside the truck while you drill the first hole. Yes, please. Mark started Old Blue up again and followed every safety step and dug the hole the full length of the 4.5-foot auger. He reversed it, pulled the auger up, moved the tractor down to the next hole, and turned Old Blue off. Wayne got out of the truck and looked at the hole with Mark. Man, that went smooth, Mark said as they high-fived. This is going to work. How many do you think you can drill in a day? Wayne wondered. That's a pretty deep hole. Back on our ranch, we would drill, about 25 or 30 a day, but they were only 3 feet deep, and that's if they were already marked. I need to get back to the office. I've played hooky long enough. I'm going to send someone back to help you mark the holes. Jean insists that I leave someone out here with you while you drill the holes. She's promised your mom. Just make sure they stay in the truck like I did. Okay, then I will start marking the pink X's. Reminds me of the cross I made on the penny from the bus station. Mark lined the jig up with the last X. Yes, this is definitely a 2-man job, and Mr. V is right. They do look more like crosses than X's. Soon the old rusty white pickup truck appeared. Hey, Mark, I'm Chester, and Wayne sent me to help you. Let's get busy. Where do we start? Okay, let's mark pink X's. Take the jig down from this X, and I'll tell you when to whoa. Soon they had 20 holes marked. Well, Mark, you get to run Old Blue, and I get to snooze in the truck. Look, we have to stop at 4:45 and get back to the front. At 5, I drive the bus to retrieve the first shift of migrant workers from across the border. Don't they sleep over here in the bunks and apartments? Mark questioned. They used to, but if possible, they all go back to their families every day. Because of the heat, we work 2 shifts at night. The Vozzolos believe everybody's family is really important, and they thought that way long before Tony died. That's one of the many reasons they have the same great crew season after season. They even have a waiting list for people to work for them. They're really good people. Chester, do you have any idea what Tony was up to in that warehouse? No, Wayne asked me that too. I wished I did. Knowing Tony, it was going to be grand as long as he didn't have to run any equipment or use any tools. But he flat planned things out like nobody's business. I'm headed to the truck with the paint and the jig. You head to Old Blue.